Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, Master Herbalist and Spiritual Teacher here. Well, what do you think this is? It's a interesting plant. Has a very pungent smell, kind of like oregano. Well, this is Mexican oregano and has a similar texture, similar also to the leaves of sage. And this thing grows like a weed. There's no doubt about it. And I would highly recommend it. It's usually healing for the body in general, and I'm sure you're going to want to get some and make a difference in your life. It's actually in the verbena family actually, and it grows like a weed. I mean, I put one plant in, and little others will come up around it. You got to keep cutting those back because otherwise it'll take over. And it would make a great hedge. I mean, a really great hedge, and very aromatic also, and super healing. It's also here on the in the Caribbean. It's called paleo, and just about every nursery has paleo for sale. It's very healing. One of our family members, gave us a plant, and I planted it, and it's really very aromatic. And the flowers bring all the butterflies and all the bees and everything likes it. Actually wonderful. Has kind of a lemony, sweet taste to it. Actually, a little bit medicinal slightly because it's very strong oregano kind of a flavor. Also, it's really healing for the whole body in general. The Latin name is Lupita graveolens, and so it's a very interesting plant and very good for the respiratory tract. I'll get into more why, but it's very healing. If you have something going on, you have a cold, a flu, or you know, any kind of thing like asthma, this is really healing for you. Really great for stomach aches. They make a tea with this. Take 3 or 4 of these leaves and put it in a cup and put in some boiling water and let it steep for about 15 minutes. Really great for healing the body. As that stomach ache is going to disappear like that. There's no doubt about it in my mind whatsoever. I've used it, I know. Like I said, great for colds and flus. It heals up diarrhea. It's wonderful getting rid of diarrhea because it's just kind of so many antioxidants in it that helps to heal the body in general, get rid of the inflammation of the colon and the small intestines also. It gets rid of stomach pains, as I've talked about before. Also, because it has so many terpenes and also polyphenols in it, it actually helps to lower blood pressure. Anytime you can get a lot of antioxidants in there, it will help to lower blood pressure in general. Also helps with pain. I'm looking up some of the new studies on this wonderful oil that comes out of this wonderful plant, and that is actually amazing for pain also. And they did a lot of studies with it showing it, really good for toothache pain and any kind of pain in general. Just making the tea and drinking it will help with pain. Also, really good for, menstrual cramps and inflammation of the uterus. Um, if you have scant periods, this will also help too because of all the polyphenols in there. Like I said, it's a powerful anti-inflammatory agent that has 9 polyphenols in it, which like in green tea, and 22 terpenes, which are also powerful anti-inflammatory agents too. And also it's antibacterial, kills bacteria if you have a bacterial infection. So that's another thing to think about. It's something to keep around your house. A lot of times we should grow plants in our yard, or even this will work great in a pot. It will grow like a weed in a pot. There's no doubt about it. And you have a big plant. You can cut it back almost completely. It'll come right back. I mean, I cut ours back a week and a half ago, and it's already almost 3 feet tall again. Really grows fast. It's also antiviral, so if you have like I said, a cold or flu or something like that, it helps with that cold or flu. It's also very relaxing and soothing and helps you to rest. So that's another thing. If you're not sleeping well, you might want to take some of this, and it'll help you to get that rest you need. Anti spasmodic agent, cramping anywhere in your body will help to get rid of those cramps and help you to feel better in general. Like I said, powerful antioxidant, all kinds of wonderful things in there as far as about 30 some different antioxidant agents which will do the body good. And once you get one of these plants, you'll be giving it away to other people. Because it grows, like I said, like a weed. It's used in all kinds of different places for cooking also, especially in Mexico. And they use it for marinades and soups and stews and casseroles. It has a very pungent oregano-ish kind of flavor and really good for beans and anything you use with tomato sauce or tomato paste. And really good, or just fresh tomatoes, really good with that. Make the tea, take, like I said, 3 teaspoons of the dried leaves or a couple tablespoons of the fresh leaves and put it in a cup, add boiling water, let it steep for about 15 minutes, and you'll end up with a great drink. Let it cool and drink that, 3 or 4 times a day if you have a cold or a flu, and it's really going to change everything. As far as side effects go, it really doesn't have any side effects that we have found in general. But of course, those who are pregnant, nursing, or small children, in general, I don't recommend it for, herbs for those. And so here is another wonderful agent that you can keep in your yard. You can also, chop the limbs off of it, the stems off of it, and chop it all up. Even the stems are good for making tea. And you can dry it and put it in your herbal medicine cabinet so you can have it on a regular basis all the time. You don't have to go outside in the middle of the night to get some to make tea. And I highly recommend it for your medicine cabinet in general. Also, start growing your herbal garden. I think it's really important to have a lot of different types of herbs out. We have thyme, we have oregano, 2 different types of oregano. We have all kinds of things. Chamomile, lots of different things. All kinds of turmeric growing, lots of different herbs, and even horseradish and different things. And it really does an amazing job of healing everybody, and everybody in the area also. So allow yourself to start growing your herbal medicinal cabinet out in your yard. And if you just have a patio, get some pots. My next step, if I've run out of space already, my next step is to get some nice sized pots. And we have a little cement slab where a building used to be, and I'm going to put pots in of all kinds and fill that whole space, maybe even tier it with some kind of device that I'll have to make so I can get more pots in there and keep lots and lots of good things to grow and keep your medicine cabinet going. I think in the future we won't go to the doctor very often. We will actually connect with an herbalist or somebody that has folk knowledge of plants, and we will heal that way and allow ourselves to grow and change in our healing capability. I think plants will become the natural source of the go-to way of healing in the future. So allow yourself to start moving in that direction right now. It's very important. And allow yourself to change your lifestyle. I think it's really important. And have an open mind. I was just talking with a couple men the other day, and both of them have cancer, but they're really not open to changing their lifestyle and, having a different diet and looking at things in a different way. So if you don't open your mind to different possibilities, like going to the Gerson Clinic and changing and doing a lot of green juicing and allowing yourself to change your diet completely, get rid of inflammation in your body, get rid of the sugar and these different things. There's really no way that we can help move you towards a healthy lifestyle and being healthy in general. So allow yourself to open up to lots of different ways of modalities of healing. I have a good friend, and he's a naturopath, and he has a machine called a Beamer. And I was skeptical, I have to say. And I started using it. He said, "Come on over, Paul. let's try this with you and see what it does, how it does work with you. And I was amazed. I had so much more energy after using that machine for about 15 minutes. It was like, wow. And I also noticed that the NASA people are using it for their astronauts, one going to this International Space Station, for the weightlessness problems they have, weightlessness, uh, these problems like diseases of all the bones are leaching out and become osteoporotic. And they even have sent up twins, and then one on Earth, one up in the station for a year, and see what the difference is. And so there's one of the challenges that they need to overcome when being out in space. Also, his little beamer machine, which is pretty amazing stuff, I have to say. I felt invigorated. You might want to find a naturopath or somebody who's working with a beamer machine in your area and see how it works for you. You know, not everything works for everybody. And just like any type of uh, bacterial agent that a doctor might give you, some work for some people, some don't work for some people. Same thing with antidepressants, the same thing with herbs and natural supplements. Some will work for some people, some don't work for some people. So you have to, listen to your body. And I think that's one of the things that people have forgotten how to do that. I also think we need to listen to our spirit. Sometimes, we get so caught up in living our day-to-day rote lives that we don't listen to our body telling us, I need to get out into nature. I need to get away from the city. I need to spend time by myself in nature, listening to nature sounds like a stream trickling, or being by a waterfall, which is amazingly healing, and all those negative ions there, are being by the ocean and picking up all the negative ions. We need to listen to our body. Our body has great wisdom, and when we start listening to that wisdom, we stay healthy. There's no doubt about it. Or also maybe our body is saying, I need to get a massage, on a regular basis, so I can get rid of the stress in my life, or I could feel like I have the tension come down in my body. So all the lymphatic system in our body starts to work correctly, our circulatory system starts to work correctly, the hormonal system and all the glands in our body start to work correctly. And these are all interacting. There's 37,000 trillion enzymatic uh, processes that are happening in the body every single second. And that's an amazing 37,000 trillion enzymatic processes that are happening in the body every single second. So we need to have this concert going on in harmony. If it's disharmony, it doesn't really work very well. So allow yourself to also think of yourself as more than just this flesh and blood. You are a spiritual being. A lot of studies have been done about the connection between people, and they can put one person in one room and another person in another room. One person's looking at a picture, maybe of a waterfall, and the next person, a few minutes later, draws a picture of a waterfall. We have this innate connection, and it doesn't matter how far the other person is away from the other person. It seems like musical people seem to even pick up on this even better, but it's from 70-80% for most people, and even higher for people who have a musical nature, and up in the upper 80s and 90%. So I think it's really important that we allow ourselves to know, just like mother and child, all of a sudden the child gets hurt in New York, and a grown-up child, and the mother is woken up out of her sleep, and kind of a deep, big sweat. If something's happened to my child, they know instantaneously. We are entwined. There's no doubt about it. So we have to allow ourselves to know that this nature happens. This happens all the time. One of my good friends, he is connected with a good friend of his, and he said, anytime that you think about calling me, don't, and it comes into your head, pick up the phone right away. And it was very interesting that Terry instigated this. And when they figured out how many times they actually thought about it at the exact same time, and sometimes they would pick up the phone and it didn't even ring, and they would go, "Hey Bob, you're there?" And it was 5 out of 8 times that they picked it up and it wasn't even ringing yet. So we have this connection. There is no doubt about it. So allow yourself to use that spiritual connection to make your life better. And remember, if you want to get a hold of me, my phone number is 831-869-9119, 831-869-9119. My email address is drpaulhader@gmail. Just click show more and it's all down there. And on my Skype address is drpaulhader. And if you want to text me, you want to WhatsApp me, fine. Get a hold of me. Get a hold of me early because I go to bed by 8 p.m. and I get up at 4:30 in the morning. So allow yourself to, text me between 9 and 5 or 6. That would be good. If you text me after I go to bed, or call me, I'll get back to you the next day. I promise. So remember that this Mexican oregano is really good for you and really can make a great job of healing you. I found the plants on eBay for about $12 in a 4-inch planter, a little container, 4-inch plant. So very inexpensive. I found on Amazon, like 4 ounces was about $12, and that goes a long ways. It's very light when dried, so it's very inexpensive, and you can have Mexican oregano around anytime you want. So feel free. If you care to make a donation, that is greatly appreciated. If you want to do a consult, I ask for a donation for that now. We've had some hard times here on the island because of Maria and some other things that have been going on, so feel free to make a donation, and if you want to do a consult, I greatly appreciate that. And also, if you just want to connect and say hello, I appreciate that also, and always enjoy hearing from you. Have a great day. Remember God, and remember, I love you.